Hello and welcome to Bakersfield Black Magazine. Today we have the star of the upcoming film, Hypno, here with us today. Hello, Q, how are you?
All right, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine. So, can you tell us about the character that you portray in the movie?
Tony he's a good guy. He works security, but his passion is writing. For some reason, he has gotten writer's block and he can't, write like he used to. He tries Hypno, and it kind of goes from there.
Did you find any personal connections or challenges in bringing the character to life?
Of course I did. I'll say that because, remember, this is the director's vision. Yeah. It's inside his head. Mm-hmm. So I'm just actually letting him be what he is, the director and the lead man, and just kind of directing me on my character.
Right.
I'm not gonna lie to you, it took probably a couple scenes to shoot for me to really get a knack of who my character actually was to be.
Right.
You know what I mean? But again, that comes from Monte C. Wilson.
Right. But he saw something in you to pick you for that role. So
yeah, you know what though?
Had it. And
you know what? I don't want to say anybody could have did this role, but when you work with somebody and you develop a relationship with them, mm-hmm. Outside of the film, but just, working with somebody, you feel comfortable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we're always available. We know each other's schedule. You know what I mean? And I don't know, if I was him and he was me, I would want my main guy to be somebody that I directly can get in tune with and contact with all the time.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So I think that's kind of how that happened.
Reflecting on the filming process, what was your favorite scene?
I think my favorite scene was when I was actually shooting with the beautiful female Mia, and I didn't quite get the vision. He said, like, Q, so right now, Q, you're actually like hypnotized right now, and this is your vision. And he's like, no, just look straight this way. And then, she right there, he coming back to me. Mm-hmm. And then, it was the scene when she disappeared and she was down by the train tracks, That was exciting to me.
And the vision is in his mind.
Right.
For you to try to capture what he's saying.
Right.
To see it to come to pass.
Exactly.
So can you describe the atmosphere on set during some of the scenes?
I was confident in Monte's vision in me, his film, so I didn't feel pressure as such. Mm-hmm. And again, throughout the film, if I'm not saying my lines correctly or my body language, mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Which is like, you don't even think about that. Like, Q, not like that, like a little bit more swag, but not like with aggression type of thing, you know what I mean? And that again is where I feel comfortable. You know what I mean? He's leading me and I'm trusting him.
Your wife. We love your wife now.
Yeah.
It's part of the film. So how was it working alongside your spouse?
She's a part of the team too.
Yeah.
And Monty actually leveled her part up this time, so she had a little bit more lines, a little bit more like involvement in the film as a character.
Yes.
A character that get on my nerves. You know what I mean? She's a little high sedity. But come on, man. You doing a film with your wife? I mean,
yeah,
that's dope, right? Yeah. So I embrace that.
Yeah.
That's history, right?
That's good. I'm excited to see you guys.
Absolutely. Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Of course.
And we'll be back. Hello, and now we have Monte C. Wilson, writer, producer, and director of the new upcoming film, Hypno.
Mm-hmm.
How you doing, Monte?
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing
nice
good.
to see you again.
Yeah, same here. You excited about this upcoming film?
Yes, I'm really, really excited about this one.
Okay.
Yeah, for a lot of different reasons.
Let us know.
Some of the stuff that I did in it was different, and I just want to see how it kind of comes across.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I have a couple questions for you. So can you tell us about the inspiration behind Hypno and what drew you to this particular story?
I was actually having some problems with writing. Same thing that the character in the main character in the movie. And I started to do some meditation in the morning and the night. And when I started to meditate, my mind just kind of just opened up. It just really got really, really clear. And I just came up with the idea to actually do a storyline about a guy who was being hypnotized. The same thing. So it came out of nowhere, and I just needed to come up with the idea, the A to Z of exactly what was going to happen in the storyline. But I knew it was just going to be somebody that was being hypnotized.
Wow, that's deep. Oh, so you found yours through meditation.
Correct.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so what was the most challenging aspect of directing Hypno?
Well, one of probably the most challenging things is that in the movie, he's actually hypnotized. So some of the movie actually takes place in his mind, what's going on in his brain. So that was the most challenging part to portray that, that he's now hypnotized and now this is not real, but at the same time portray that when he comes out of being hypnotized, he is kind of confused about what's real or not, you know what I mean? And not have the audience confused. That's one thing I do not like to do is when I'm watching a movie and I'm confused what's going on and I don't know whether or not this is the fake stuff or is this the real stuff. I wanted to be really clear. So that was how I transitioned and went in and out of the Hypno scenes was very important to me.
That's good. I mean, have you ever watched a movie? I got to say this because when you brought that up and everything, have you ever watched a movie where in the end you still didn't know what happened?
Oh, I watch a lot of movies like that.
I mean, just like,
right.
Yeah.
And that's another thing too. That was a challenge too, to come up with a good ending. I'm a very stickler on good endings.
Yeah. So how did you approach the character development in this film?
The hypnotist, I just saw him as somebody that was just real straight-laced and kind of medical, almost like just really clean and no personality, almost like really straight-laced. And I wanted the main character just to be like a normal Joe.
Yeah.
You know, a normal guy, likable guy, that where the audience, obviously, he's the character that you follow and that, you know, you want to, I want you to care what's going on in his life and in his journey. That sort of thing. That's important to me also. His wife's character, she's interesting. I'm very interested to see how if people like her or not, or what, how they relate to her. Yeah, just because her attitude, she's very pushy, I should say.
Okay, so we have something to look forward to with the wife as well. Okay, so can you share any interesting parts from the other filming process?
With any independent film, there's some challenges as far as just getting everybody together at the same time. So there was a lot of scenes in the movie where I had to improvise. The story might change, the characters might change. You may be 3 people in the scene and you can only get 2 of them that day.
Yeah.
So now you got to turn it into a 2-person scene. And obviously when you're doing everything, you're doing the shooting, the directing, the audio and the and the lighting, that's always a challenge, you know, because you got to, while I'm setting up lights, we're practicing, that sort of thing. And I got to figure out what my next shot is going to be. So that's always a challenge, but I'm so used to that that's become really easy for me.
What was your favorite scene in the film?
You know, I've seen the movie, so you'd have to ask me 2 questions. Is it the scenes I like shooting the most or the scenes that actually, after it has turned out, you know what I mean, after we've seen it, you know what I mean? After I've seen the movie, I think some of my favorite scenes is when the main character, Tony, and the hypnotist are in their sessions. Those scenes I wrote out, and I was looking at these scenes, and their acting was so good in this scene, in these scenes back and forth.
Yeah.
I'm actually like, wow, I'm wowing myself. And so that's some of my favorite scenes as far as seeing the movie. As far as shooting the movie, some of the scenes that we shot downtown, when the main character, Tony, is in his hypnosis state, and he had to walk around kind of like looking around like he's, you know, because the first time he goes, and I don't want to give you too much, but the first times that he goes under hypnosis, it's a surprise to him. He's never been there before. So I had to create this scene where he's like, wow, you know what I mean? Like, what's going on? Sort of thing. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I'm really looking for that scene. Okay. So what unique perspective or style do you bring to the genre?
Most movies in my genre are pretty much gangster flicks. You know what I mean? Let's just call it what it is.
Okay.
A lot of hood flicks in my genre. So I wanted to do something that was a little bit different. So I think it stands out for that way. Some of the scenes, how they transition in and out, I did a little bit something special, like, you know what I mean? So, and that was part of my idea from the beginning. I knew that if I was gonna do these hypno scenes, that it had to be something that kind of wow you a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I needed some sort of like, boom, like, okay, I'm getting ready to see something here.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, that was my motivation.
Well, Monte, thank you so much for coming and talking with us about the movie. I just really, I feel like you have that genius mindset.
Thank you.
Thank you. So stay tuned for Monte's upcoming film, Hypno. Thank you for joining Bakersfield Black Magazine. We will talk to you soon.